7 minutes after 8 o'clock, time to get another week on the road. It's Monday, October 16. Welcome to Island Tea. AZ.
Hey, good morning,
My man.
Jamster. How you doing?
I'm cool.
I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone listening and viewing via social media. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. It is Monday. It's already the start of the work day. We know Sunday is the first day of the week, but Monday is, for many persons, the first work day. And it's October 16th, 2023. And I just want to start off with a quote. It says, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And I'm going to repeat that again. It says, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." And it's by Margaret Mead. And so that's a very inspiring quote, inspiring, persons, no matter how small your group may be. If it is that you want to change the world, it can be done even with a small group of individuals. Once those individuals, those citizens are committed, once they're thoughtful, and I want to add, once they are committed to persevere. And so I want to say to those persons, in whatever groups you are a part of, if it is a good cause, if it is a worthy cause, to continue to break barriers, continue to do what needs to be done in order to effect change, the change that you want to see, the change that you think would benefit the country and society as a whole. It is currently, I know we have traffic talk at 8:30, and while I was going through some of the highlights, the news highlights, I recognize that it is International Credit Union Day, and it's going to be celebrated on October 19th. And so every October 19th, it's Credit Union Day, International Credit Union Day. And I see that there was an address made by the Minister of Finance. Well, the minister here, it has a Win FM article saying, "Finance Minister opens week of activities to commemorate International Credit Union Day." And it says, International Credit Union Day, commemorated every October 19th, reflects upon the credit union movement's history, promotes its achievements, recognizes the hard work, and sheer member experiences. And so, ahead of the 75th anniversary of International Credit Union Day, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, officially delivered an address to mark the occasion. He spoke of the significance of the credit unions and declared the week of activities open. And in St. Kitts and Nevis, the week of activities will run from October 16th to 20th. And today is October 16th. So the week of activities starts today and it ends on the 20th, which, if I'm correct, that's Friday. So we have from Monday to Friday a week of activities. And it says here, according to the World Council of Credit Unions, the day's goal is to raise awareness about the work that credit unions and other financial cooperatives are doing worldwide. And I have taken the time to look at some of the benefits of credit unions, and these are general benefits. And here what I have found is that, and these are general, personalized customer service, higher interest rates on savings, lower fees, lower loan rates, community focus. It says variety of service offerings, insured deposit, and additional consideration when using a credit union. So, credit unions do have some benefits, and these are general benefits that I would have looked at in terms of doing a bit of, research to see what is going on. In addition to that, I see that we also have been focusing, and I'm looking at WinFM's article yet again, and it says here, SKN Youth Tourism Ambassadors highlight the St. Kitts Music Festival and Botanical Gardens in Tourism Youth Congress proposals. And it says here that Cameron Odin and Rushka Shamar, Junior Ministers of Tourism for St. Kitts and Nevis, respectfully participated in the Caribbean Tourism Organization 2023 Regional Tourism Youth Congress. And this happened on Friday morning, the 13th of October. And the young tourism ambassadors, they joined 12 other regional counterparts on the stage in Turks and Caicos to market their homeland as a viable tourism destination. And so Adine, she represented the Washington Archibald High School, highlighted the St. Kitts Music Festival as a premier event that would encourage any visitor an enjoyable and unique experience in St. Kitts. And, a student of the Charlestown Secondary School on Nevis, Rushka Shamar, featured the botanical gardens, expressing that visitors would have a true essence of natural beauty and medicinal empowerment from the visit. And so, though St. Kitts and Nevis, the delegates from St. Kitts and Nevis did not secure a place in the top positions of the competition, the judges' report acknowledged that all participants were exceptional in their delivery and the marketing of their respective islands. And the 2023-2024 Regional Junior Minister of Tourism is, and her name is Naomi Onforju. I think it's maybe it sounds kind of African, it's kind of foreign, but she's from the British Virgin Islands. And so Naomi from the British Virgin Islands, she won that competition. And we had Jordan, Junior Minister of Tourism from Barbados, come in second, while Jaleel Morgan, Junior Minister of Tourism from Tobago, placed third. So the top three positions went to the British Virgin Islands winner, Barbados, second place, and Tobago, third place. And so we say congratulations to all of the delegates who participated in that competition. We say congratulations to our delegates as well for the remarkable job that they did in promoting St. Kitts and Nevis, and it's good when, our own promote our countries, whatever is there in terms of, she, based on the article, she highlighted the St. Kitts Music Festival. And that's from St. Kitts aspect. And from the Nevisian aspect, the botanical gardens. And so it is very important that we say congratulations to these young persons who continue to do remarkable things and, keep St. Kitts and Nevis, our island, our voice out there. And I want to say thank you to them, and also kudos to the schools who participated, kudos to the teachers who worked behind the scenes, kudos to the parents who encourage. I want to say kudos to the Ministry of Tourism in, of course, partnering and lending assistance in ensuring that these students participated. Kudos to everyone involved. And so while looking at something in the region, not so good news. This is from Jamaica. It says that the Jamaican MP wants justice for his murdered daughter and her mother. And this article was published 17 hours from Loop News, and it's something that I would have seen in the social media, the Facebook, the Instagrams, where persons posted. And this is the first article that I'm actually reading or viewing as it relates to what has transpired. And it says, opposition parliamentarian Philip Palwell is hoping that all who were involved in the kidnapping and murder of his 10-month-old daughter and her mother are brought to justice and punished to the fullest extent of the law. In a statement issued on Saturday, Paulwell said nothing could have prepared him for the events that unfolded since last week Thursday, when police charged Leoda Bradshaw, a U.S. Navy petty officer with whom Paulwell shared a now 8-year-old child, along with 3 other men in the abduction and murder of his daughter Soraya and her mother Tashina Patterson, sorry. And it goes on to say, this is a quote, it says, "The past few weeks have been extremely difficult for me as I grappled with the abduction of my daughter and her mother," the Member of Parliament for Kingston East and Port Royal said in a statement. He goes on to say, "I am heartbroken that the worst has happened," he said, adding that he had prayed unceasingly for their safe return. He goes on to say that anyone could murder a mother and an innocent baby is unimaginable. He goes on to say that anyone who could murder a mother and an innocent baby is unimaginable, and my heart is heavy with sadness. He goes on to say, "I am praying for Tashina's family, who I know are experiencing the unbearable grief and pain of losing their beloved daughter and granddaughter. As a human being, father, lawyer, and legislator, I am hoping that all who were involved are brought to justice and punished to the fullest extent of the law." Paulwell said that he has been in constant dialogue with the police and has cooperated fully with the investigation. He goes on to say, and I quote, "I cannot comment on the investigations nor matters before the court, but I wish to thank the police for their tireless work." He expressed gratitude to the many Jamaicans who have been gracious in their prayers, as well as their kind and thoughtful expressions of love, support, and solidarity for him and his family. Last Friday, Bradshaw appeared in the Supreme Court after being charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnap, 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of capital murder. According to the Crown, Bradshaw, who lives overseas, after learning about the existence of Paulwell's 10-month-old daughter on September 5th, 2023, contacted Patterson on Facebook and told her she was Paulwell's spouse and wanted a DNA test on the baby. She traveled to Jamaica the next day, September 6, 2023, for the sole purpose of kidnapping Patterson and the young child she shared with her spouse. The Crown also alleged that Bradshaw, through her cousin and co-accused, contracted men to kidnap and murder Patterson and Soraya. Balfour has been charged with 2 counts of accessory before the fact to kidnapping and 2 counts of accessory before the fact to murder. Richard Brown, another accused, has been charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnap, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of murder. Shane Miller, the third man accused in the matter, has been charged with 2 counts of accessory before the fact to kidnapping and 2 counts of accessory before the fact to murder. Both Brown and Miller are to appear before the court later this month. According to prosecutors, Bradshaw met with Miller and Brown to arrange for the kidnapping and murders. The original plan was to kidnap Patterson and the baby from their homes. Prosecutors told the court that Bradshaw paid the men equivalent Jamaican $100,000 in U.S. currency as down payment for the execution of the crime. The remainder of funds, $400,000, was to be paid after the completion of the deal. Prosecutors said that on Saturday night, Bradshaw placed several calls and conversed with Patterson with a view to lure her away from her premises, arriving at Patterson's home at approximately 7 a.m. that day. The article goes on to say, evidentiary material shows Patterson exiting her premises and entering an SUV parked at her gate along with her baby. It also shows that she remained in the vehicle for over 15 minutes. The vehicle then drove off and left the area 7:22 a.m. Patterson and Soraya never exited the vehicle prior to its leaving. Prosecutions told the presiding Supreme Court Judge Justice Simone Wolf Rees on Friday. The Crown's case is that Bradshaw took Patterson to Stony Hill in the vicinity of the home where Bradshaw, was staying, handed over Patterson and her young child to Brown and other individuals who were yet to be apprehended. After this, Patterson and her young child were taken to the hills where they were shot and killed. Their bodies burned. The court was told. Wow. Very sad news, very unfortunate news, and that matter is before the court. I saw the article, well, not the articles, I saw the posts, I saw the Facebook messages, I saw the statuses, I saw so many things over these days as it relates to that. And this is actually one of the first articles that I'm reading that gives a holistic approach to what has happened. Yeah, Jamso?
I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
How could anyone do that? I don't understand.
It's very,
wow,
very traumatic. And the thing about it says that they communicated on September 5th, and by September 6th, she was already there. Wow, it is very unfortunate, and the allegation is of contracted killing. That is very unfortunate. Wow.
And then she hired someone to go and kill the hitman.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't.
Yeah, I saw that in the news.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Yeah, I did hear that. I didn't see it come up in this article, but I heard it from elsewhere. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. It's really a very terrifying world that we live in, and I cannot imagine that he would have thought that would have been the fate of his 10-month-old daughter even 3 months ago, and it's really sad how things quickly unfold, how things often could turn for the worse in a matter of days, weeks. And based on the article, she was kidnapped and abducted for quite some time, and he was praying that at least that she was praying unceasingly, he says, that they would be safe. But he heard, and he know otherwise now. Yeah. Also, I spoke about last week, the CARICOM Canada summit, and Dominica's prime minister is to co-chair the Canada CARICOM summit, and Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, he's going to co-chair the first Canada CARICOM summit along with Prime Minister of Canada Justin Trudeau in Ottawa, Canada. And the summit will take place from the 17th of October to the 19th 2023, and it will be held under the theme Strategic Partners for a Resilient Future. And they are hoping and to seek to strengthen existing cooperation between Canada and CARICOM member states. And that is it's supposed to happen tomorrow. Today is October 16th, so tomorrow. And the current CARICOM chairman, he's going to lead his colleague heads of government in discussions on building inclusive and sustainable economies, increasing trade and investment, and the fight against climate change and international assistance to address the ongoing political and humanitarian crisis in Haiti. Well, at least one thing that I'm picking up from this is that there is some consistent message as it relates to sustainability and sustainable economies. If we are to remember the theme for independence, it all was about sustainability. And so at least there is a general theme going through. So I'm hoping that CARICOM, the leaders that we have, are actually working towards a plan together to see the region in a better and more a more robust, a more engaged position as to really adapt and to really combat what we are facing here within the region present day time. So I'm hoping that these discussions are fruitful and that we have a unified plan. 'Cause it will be really good to see CARICOM, really having a unified approach, and that is trickled down to member states. That would be so. It's not just, I know the persons usually say that politics is local, and I understand that, but it will also be good to see a uniform approach throughout the member states, that we're working towards ensuring that our region is here.
But you do realize, if politics is local, it means it's international, because everywhere can be considered a locality, right? So
yes.
One thing I want us to think about before we get ready for traffic talk.
Yes.
The Prime Minister, he was on the news this morning. There was a story about him encouraging the young people to protest regarding climate change and these those types of matters.
Yeah.
What struck me was he may be unwittingly letting on the fact that he's only interested in selective protesting, because I mean, I wonder if you would like it if we protested about a whole bunch of other things and not just young people. It's all very selective. Young people agitate about climate change. How about everybody agitate about everything that plagues the society, everything that we need addressed?
Yeah.
That's what he should be saying. It's because it sounds very self-serving. Agitate about climate change, because that's not something he can do much about until the bigger countries step up and play their part.
The unfortunate thing as it relates to climate change and the effects of these carbon emissions is that the larger countries play such a vital part. They contribute so much, and it's often the smaller countries that we are the ones here fighting. We are taking the brunt of it. But we're taking the brunt. We're feeling the effects, and we're fighting. But and again.
But he wants the young people to agitate.
I hope all of us are to fight, but we need the real the real buy-in from those larger countries as well.
So I think
create a dent.
I think he needs to revisit that statement, because we need to agitate about everything that bugs us. And we're not saying we're going to be rowdy and stuff. We're just talking about. He even talked about going someplace and not even seeing one placard. I wonder if he would be similarly disappointed if maybe he went to some event here and there were no placards.
You know what I heard him speak about? I heard him speaking about sometime the republic, and for us to become a republic. And I thought to myself, while I heard him speak, he was mentioning the fact that the yearning for us to become and the discussion must happen from us, the people. And I thought to myself, it's very convenient, because you were saying that you had talks about becoming a republic and everything, and now you're going to say on the other hand that it must come from the people. But these are issues that I think government ought to lead on. Of course, if we are going down that road, we'll hear from the people, and the people would vote towards it. But in order for us to really have that discussion going, I think that government should lead the discussion and lead it in a neutral way, but lead nonetheless. So they say these are the options. These are what would be the way forward if we were to, become a republic. These are the reasons why persons support the move towards becoming a republic. And based on these reasons, based on this, what do you people of St. Kitts and Nevis want. I think that is where the discussion should start, because oftentimes when laws are passed, well, they don't come from the ground up, they come from the top down. And so why can't that discussion be led by government? We have traffic talk now, and so we're going to break and come right back.
It's 8:33.
Yes.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Be careful on the road. Don't make it an episode.
8:35, and it's time for Traffic Talk, brought to you by Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Good morning, Inspector.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all out there in Radio Land.
Yes, sir. So, Inspector, what are we going to be talking about this morning? I'm sure the viewers and listeners are anxious to hear.
Oh, before you start, I noticed that the cat, you remember that problematic cat? I noticed it's gone. I noticed it yesterday. So, I don't know if you had something to do with that, but...
So this morning we'll be speaking about pedestrian safety.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about it. Pedestrian safety.
So whether we are commuting to a bus stop, whether we are exiting or entering a building, or just having a early morning walk, we all are pedestrian at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that brings me to the definition of a pedestrian.
Yes.
And a pedestrian is one on foot, any person with disability traveling in a wheelchair or a mobility device to help an individual overcome a disability.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that crossing any street or road crossing are the most common location for pedestrians to get injured. And that's why we have signs, traffic signs, which we must comply to. Any street crossing can put a pedestrian in the path of a motor vehicle. And what makes matters worse, that driver may not be paying attention or may not have the time to avoid a pedestrian who suddenly steps into the road. And we as drivers, we witness that a lot. We tend to see pedestrians just run across the road just like that. Sometimes you have the traffic warden or the police directing traffic, and the police or traffic warden would say, do not cross. And you ignore, and you walk straight across and feel as though, well, they must stop.
Yeah.
We all know pedestrians do have a rights, but that doesn't give you the right to muddle across the road as if the road is yours.
Strange that you speak about this morning, because oftentimes, as a driver, you see pedestrians and you're driving, and sometimes for me, sometimes I get a bit of a scare because there are persons and you're wondering if they are cognizant of the fact that you're driving a vehicle, because sometimes they just run across the road at odd times, unexpected times, and you're like, wow, you're not even concerned about looking left or looking right or seeing if something is coming. Yes.
Yes, and as a pedestrian, you must always remember the basic rules. You look left, you look right, you look up, you look down before you cross.
Yes.
But some of us as pedestrians, we don't care. We have no regard for our own safety. And so we need to put our safety first. Children and pedestrians with limited mobility are at greater risk because, they don't have the same ability or speed to cross the road as someone who is agile.
Yeah.
And so we are asking drivers to allow, especially when the elderlies are on the crossing, and even though the crossing walk time may be up, as I just indicated, that some of them is not up to standard, or their mobility is not as healthy as mine. So please allow them to continue to finish the crossing. Never mind that the walk. So long as they're on the walk before the time has expired, it is your duty. It is safety we are talking about. You must allow them to cross. And as we speak of the crossing, there's a section under the traffic light signal which give the police the authority to give pedestrian tickets. If you cross before the cross signal or you feel you can cross just as you want, yes, that section gives us the authority, which is regulation 2A of the traffic signal, that give us the authority to issue ticket to persons who walk across just like that.
Yeah.
You also could be arrested for jaywalking as well. And as we speak of pedestrian safety, children, we know children, children that doesn't have this sense of danger. And so parents, we are asking you to teach your children how to cross the road. We know some children may not have the height where drivers can see them clearly, and they tend to run across, and as soon as they run across, this is what happened.
Yes.
And like adult too, and we see it a lot, that persons who, whether given a lift from in a public vehicle or in a public service vehicle, when they exiting that vehicle, instead of crossing to the rear or let the vehicle pass, they tends to cross in front. As I said earlier, sometimes the driver may be doing something else, and as you cross, the vehicle from the opposite direction could just come up and injure you. So you too have to pay attention. We all are talking about safety. I don't know how much we could say to you about safety, but it's my duty to speak about it, and so I will continue to speak about road safety.
Yeah, indeed. And even I find sometimes too that we need to be very cognizant of the fact that, as we walk, as we're on the street, especially I find when, reversing at times, you reverse, and sometimes pedestrians are in this spot not realizing, and then sometimes I'm thinking, you're reversing into that same spot, but persons are walking in that same spot, and you're wondering to yourself, well, are they not seeing the vehicle coming into that same spot? And you're like, I'm so happy I have a mirror to see what's going on. And it's just what I'm trying to bring out is sometimes the carefree nature that pedestrians have as well, that they think as the driver has a duty to ensure that whatever they're doing, whatever he or she is doing, that they do it responsibly as a prudent driver would. But at the same time, it feels as though the pedestrians at times not even acknowledging the fact that, okay, then let me assist in ensuring that I too am safe, mitigating from circumstances.
I understand clearly what you're saying, because I see it for myself, because I was on the road and had this young lady, this vehicle was coming, and she just crossed and take her gentle time strolling across, an idea watching. I was in plain clothes, and then the driver said, "Officer, you see that? Officer, see that? Because me and I don't get on. She willfully crossed in front of my vehicle just like that." And I went over and I speak with the young lady, and she laughed. I said, "This is not a laughing matter, because if something had happened, I would have spoken the truth. And you have to take your safety into consideration."
Precisely. And, there are certain times for me at least, I don't know if it's for other drivers as well, But sometimes, especially around the 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, depending on where you're going, sometimes the sun is in a direction that it's literally blinding, that you cannot really see. You for that moment, for lack of a better expression, visually impaired as they see to the road. So persons ought to, take their own safety in their hands and ensure that they are looking as well as to what the traffic coming towards them, because you don't know what that driver is doing. And as the driver does have a duty of care to ensure that they drive in a way that is safe, and as a prudent driver would, you too as a pedestrian ought to try to ensure that you too are you're looking out and you're mitigating against any circumstance that would cause an accident.
That is so true. And as you said, vision impaired.
Yeah.
When you're traveling west in the afternoon,
Yes.
that is the most dangerous time. The sun is in the most dangerous position.
Yes, the west direction.
The west, yes. So I'm asking all drivers, when you are driving westward at afternoon, kindly take your time. Think about safety. Think about your safety. Think about the passenger safety. Think about everything at regards to safety, and drive carefully.
Indeed. Yeah, so if I know that there are oftentimes callers, and we want to invite you to call if you have the intention to do so. The numbers are 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989, or you could get us on our overseas numbers. It's 718-285-6984, and the UK is 033-344-0065. Yes. So it's all about the pedestrians, and pedestrians also taking their safety in their own hands and ensuring that they do what they ought to do during the time, because when you're on the road, you have drivers and you have persons who pass by, and as you were saying, there are some persons out there that even they know that it's wrong to cross at a certain time because they're looking directly at the vehicle coming towards them, and they know that it's not the best time to cross, but it's convenient to them because they want to cross the street. Caller, you're live on Island T.
Hello, caller. Traffic Talk. Hello. Okay.
Yes. There's one person here who commented saying pedestrians need to take into consideration that vehicles can have malfunctions. One's brake can fail or malfunction. So all of these things you have to take into consideration, that at any time the vehicle might not even be operating as it ought to be in that circumstance, because things break down oftentimes at different times. I remember a time I was driving, and for whatever reason the vehicle started to overheat. I think it's something with the computer system also, and I was stuck in the middle of the road by Social Security for some time. I was like, oh God, if any location, this will be the location in front of a stop sign at one of the busiest times in the day. If I just locked it off momentarily and then turned it back on, and it was fine. But that person who made that comment reminded me that vehicles can malfunction at any time, and so persons ought to be careful. Yes.
Caller, go right ahead.
Caller.
Okay.
Okay.
It's weird.
Maybe it is that the phone is malfunctioning at this time.
Yeah.
And at this time,
Absolutely.
I would like to thank all the traffic wardens who are on those crossings. It's not an easy job, because once they step down there, you have some drivers who have no regards to the traffic warden, feel as though, why you don't just get out the road and allow us to pass. Remember, we have our children. Our children are the future of tomorrow. And so the traffic warden are there to guide them and to teach them how to cross the road. So we are asking all drivers, there is a bar line before you make that crossing. Once the traffic warden is on the crossing, you stay behind that line to allow whether it's children, adults, to cross freely. The traffic warden will indicate to you when you could proceed.
847 caller, go right ahead. Traffic Talk. Hello. Okay.
While we are getting these calls and not hearing the person on the other line, my mind reflects on our police without pay culture. I'm wondering if culture is able to call in this morning. Yes, he usually calls in on traffic talk, and he often would give his view on the matter. But yes, we're talking about pedestrian safety, and we're talking about pedestrians also taking responsibility to ensure that they too are safe on the road and, adhering to the traffic rules and regulations. Because just as drivers have to or ought to adhere to these regulations, there are regulations for pedestrians as well. And so trying your best, you ought to try your best to ensure that you adhere to these traffic regulations for your safety and the safety of others. You never know what would happen or could happen during a moment's notice. Anything could happen,
Exactly, as the caller said, you never know at what point in time your vehicle could malfunction, and we know accidents are not planned, and you just run across a vehicle, and probably the driver tried to steer off of you, and in doing that, he accidentally, collided to someone on the other side. So we are saying, don't be selfish, and don't think of you alone, but think of other road users as well.
Yes. And I think a lot of persons, I think where these things come in is actually the crossing. Where it is that, persons just cross the road. And again, we speak about it over and over again, but I guess persons ought to be encouraged to not cross the road just haphazardly, especially during the traffic sign. Sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. You're waiting on that light to turn green, and when it actually turns green during the 4 o'clock hour, busy time in town, when it actually turns green, you don't want anybody just walking across the road at that time when you're supposed to go, especially when it seems as though that the green light takes forever to reach, and in a moment's notice, the green is gone to yellow and then red, especially when it's the heat of traffic. So, pedestrians, as much as possible, also be considerate to, drivers who are, adhering to the traffic lights and traffic regulations.
That is so correct. And the safety of all road users, especially pedestrian, is important because we are not protected if we are involved in a traffic accident. As pedestrian, it is our responsibility or your responsibility to make yourself visible to avoid dangerous behavior and situation, not just on the drivers, but on your behalf as well. And this brings me to, normally at early morning, you see people walking, and so I'm advising that you wear a reflective vest, because what happened to, I could attest to that, because some of the drivers feel as though the road is empty. Trust me, that is when
I'm glad you mentioned that, officer, because at times, especially in the evening, late nights, late afternoon as well, when the sun is down or about to, descend, and you can't see. And sometimes persons are wearing like dark colors, like black. And black, sometimes I have had situations even myself, and of course, persons far away from me and they cross the road, but it's like, when you see them cross, you're like, wow, I didn't even see that person until they crossed, in the sense that the color that they're wearing and the area not being lit is difficult. So, all of these things one has to take into consideration as a pedestrian as you're crossing, because you don't know what the driver is seeing. The driver could be looking at the road at the same time, but not, for whatever reason, be seeing you at that time. And so you two have to be very careful. I think one time, there's usually a test. There's a test, and we did it during the workshop, the Calypso workshop, where you're focused on one thing and a lot of things are happening at the same time, and your mind is focused on one thing that you're not seeing everything around you. And so things could happen. Persons aren't perfect. Drivers, I'm not saying that you ought not to be prudent and know and look at the road, but the human brain, the human is fragile, and errors can happen. So as much as possible, pedestrians often are taught to be cautious and recognize this as well. So again, when you're doing walks, I know that it is said that, when you're running on the road, or you're running to the side of the road, or you're on the road, try to face the direction of the traffic.
Yes.
So you too can see what's happening, not to have your back against the traffic.
That
yes.
is correct.
That is a key safety rule. So persons, if you're on the road, on the sidewalk, wherever you're going, and you're running, and try to at all times face the direction of the traffic. I'm not talking about the sidewalk, because that's different, because you have that. But I'm talking about situations where it is you're running and you're close to the road, there's not a clear side path, and oftentimes these streets, when you're doing the run, you're not running on a sidewalk, you're running on the grass or something like that. So try to, as much as possible, face the traffic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as this morning we're discussing about pedestrian safety, and we're encouraging pedestrians to also look out for their own safety, because, as persons saying, you shouldn't drink and drive because the life you save might be your own. You shouldn't walk carelessly because the life you save might be your own.
Not might be. will be your own.
Yes. So
and I conclude by saying that all persons, drivers, pedestrians, comply with all rules of the road, obey signs and signals. When walking, walk on the sidewalks wherever they are available. If there's no sidewalk, walk facing the traffic and as far as possible from the traffic itself. Cross at street cross and crosswalks. Mm-hmm. Or if there is crosswalk in the intersection, you use those. That is for your own safety. As my host clearly stated, this life you save can be your very own.
Yes, definitely. And I want to say thank you, officer. Thank you for coming here this morning. Thank you for coming. Every Monday we have the traffic talk, where we try to enlighten persons, encourage persons to do what they ought to do in order to keep themselves safe, in order to keep others safe. And so I want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come, Monday mornings, and to share knowledge that you have and the experience that you have to those persons who are listening and viewing via whatever means, whatever platform. So I want to say thank you, Inspector.
No problem. And it's my job. It's my job. And I believe in safety. And if I have to come here 10 times a day, I would come and I would do it. And if I have to go on the road 20 times a day, I would definitely do that as well.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll get back with you. Get back to you.
Be careful on the road.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's
October, and the TDC Home and Building Depot has gone pink in support of breast cancer awareness. Shop in-store or online for our pink tag specials with up to 75% off selected items. And be sure to look out for our Flash Sales Fridays, where you get even more savings. Plus, every Saturday from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m., our team of health professionals will be in-house, offering free breast screening and the chance to win a free mammogram. So this October, remember to think pink. Think TDC Home and Building Depots. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Everywhere I go, it's showtime. I see it follow.
It's 1 minute until 9 o'clock. And it's all about Shaquille Benjamin. He is the CEO of Red Rocket Group. It's a brand new record label that's going to be setting off to do big things. My man.
Yes. Good morning. And as Jamster has indicated, we're here and we're going to allow him to speak. He has a record label and so he's going to speak. He's going to tell us more about himself and what his company has to offer. Go ahead.
All right, good morning. So thanks for having me here on
No
Island
problem.
T. I'm grateful for the opportunity. So my name is Shaquille Benjamin. I'm the CEO of Red Rocket Group. We are a record label management and production company. So this means we focus on developing artists when it comes to the studio work, as well as the individual and their career. So it's not just about, I want to be a successful artist, but how am I as an individual? So we look at the individual as a whole and not just the artist.
And how many artists have you worked with so far?
So far, we've worked with about 4 to 5 artists. We have 2 that's signed to the label and 3 others that are on contracted basis where we just provide services as they require them.
And what would be these services that are offered?
Okay, definitely. So for the production, we do recordings, mixing, mastering. We construct songs. We help you with the songwriting process. We build the beats from scratch. We do live arrangements. When it comes to career development, we look at interview preparations, speech drafting, social media management, doing sessions with the artists so they understand different choices and decisions they need to make, whether it's financial or just career wise. We also go into different projects where we look at highlighting the creatives themselves. So we have like a backing band that would be there for the artists to help them with stage presence, stage performance. And we just launched a project yesterday that's geared towards creatives and St. Kitts and Nevis.
Tell us more about the project.
Right, so the project has been dubbed The Session. The idea behind it is to promote the hidden gems, as we like to say. So the talent that you might not see on the stage every weekend, every month. And also while highlighting those talents, we are highlighting the different sceneries that people wouldn't expect to see, like a live performance in St. Kitts and Nevis.
So could you give us an idea, for those persons who might not have seen it, could you give us an idea of what was displayed?
Yes, so the first episode we launched would have featured Footsie, featuring the band AXF, which is a band that's also managed by the company. This set is usually aimed to provide about maybe 12 to 15 minutes, so that persons are interested and they listen, but they don't get bored listening for a lengthy period. So we would have highlighted Footsie with 3 of his top songs, one being a new song that he just released, Keep Working, a few months ago. And the idea behind having Footsie as the first artist was, let's look at somebody who has been in the industry for a while and, in a sense, get a proof of concept to see if this would really work. And it was successful, in my opinion. From shoot, they come straight up to the launch. No, it was a successful adventure.
Where was the activity held?
We had the first recording done by at the St. Kitts Marriott Golf Course. We were actually brought on Marriott as a partner to power the first couple of episodes that we will be premiering.
Okay then. So how many episodes can we look forward to?
Well, we have 2 more lined up for the year.
2 more lined up. Okay then. Awesome. And these are going to be launched at different times.
Yeah.
Not really a set pattern, or have you sorted out a set pattern?
We're trying to aim for 1 a month for
Okay.
the remainder of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of saying we're going to be like on the exact month, it's going to change a bit depending on what stuff we might have to figure out in the background and so forth.
Okay. What would have encouraged you to take on this sort of career? You know, music production, label. It's something that we often hear persons doing in other territories, not as much in St. Kitts and Nevis. Could you tell us one about the industry and how many persons are actually a part of industries like that here, and what would have inspired you? So, one, are there a lot of persons involved in that industry here, and what would have inspired you?
Right. So we have a lot of individuals in the industry that they focus on different aspects. So it's not a guarantee where you find somebody that does everything. So you have individuals like Trap House Records. They also look at developing artists from a studio standpoint as well as stage presence and helping them on their journeys. But most other persons, you would see them doing that aspect, but they're not as structured as we would have our things in place. But they're still aiming, and the goal at the end of the day is to build that relationship and have the artists build a successful career. But you have a few that's in the industry. Not all are official labels. Most are just producers that started a company, and they are pushing to have the artists them be seen and be known, which is really a great thing, because the industry here has been struggling for a while, and it's difficult for the creatives, especially in this field, to get that extra push, because not everybody understands what it takes behind the scenes to build a music career.
Let me ask you a question. What's your genre focus?
We don't focus on one specific genre.
Okay.
So we actually have 2 engineers, production engineers, assigned to the company, and they both have their different fields that they focus on. So one, he specializes in soca, reggae, those kind of genres. Then we have another producer that focuses on the hip hop, rap, dance, all those kind of areas.
So all comers welcome.
Yeah, we welcome everyone.
Okay.
So what would have inspired you to be doing what you're doing?
Well, I myself, I'm a musician. I've been a musician performing since 2009. Started off playing steel pan, and then as I got to high school, I joined the symphonic band. And
Which high school was that?
the birthplace of champions.
But Bastia High School.
Yes, the birthplace of champions. It's in the name. But it's always been a passion for me. I diverted for a bit to focus on IT, but I've come back into the industry around 2019, around there, to really start pushing at it again. The venture would have really started with a different direction, where we were looking at doing promotions and marketing to help push the careers of the artists. But in conversations, we would have realized, okay, there's more that can be done. So why not try and make that change? So we took the time, we spent a few years doing research and putting all the documentation together that we saw fit, and then we decided to, okay, let's go with it and see what happens from there.
Let me ask you a question. A few months ago, you were on, that thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
What's the program called?
Let's do this.
It's out of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
SKN Shark Tank type thing, right? And did you tweak? Well, I mean, you said you're basically doing it on your own now, but did anything they tell you result in you maybe tweaking your approach anywhere in terms of, okay, so maybe I should do this instead? based on maybe some of the advice they would give
To an extent, yeah. We would have realized certain things needed to be implemented. In the sense of, even though we had a structure, we had to go back to the drawing table and make sure what we have in place does make sense. And we would have had to reshape the team to ensure that what we were trying to offer was going to be beneficial. The biggest thing that scared most persons, especially on the panel, was that the size of the team. It was large. But in order to fulfill the services that we want to provide, it was important for us to have the number of individuals that we now have on the team.
Okay.
So we would have kind of restructured things up in a sense, just to make sure that we have everything in place.
Okay. Another thing, another question I have. I think our music industry, nascent as it is, has a lot of weaknesses. There's a lot of inexperience. There's a lot of non-professionalism. Tell me some of the things that you are doing differently based on some of the things you have seen and you thought, no, that can't work.
Right. Okay. So one of the things
what are you going to be doing differently that you think is going to ensure your success?
Well, one of the things that we're doing specifically is, when it comes to working with artists, for example, that we have signed to the label, we ensure that there's transparency. So the artist understands everything that's happening, understands everything that's moving as it relates to them and their career, and to an extent, by extension, the company, because they are affected if we are affected as well. So we try to keep that transparency open between us and the artists. And one of the most important things that most people don't like to do is contracts. So we make sure that everything we do has a contract. Whether it's a contract that we send to you, we sign it, you sign it and send it back. If it's just an online where you have to go on and consent that, okay, I'm putting myself on this, so I know, well, anything that happens, I'm obligated to fulfill my responsibilities.
Yeah, okay. And are you taking measures to fix the biggest problem we have? Our intellectual property is not properly locked up, meaning anyone, a band can come here from Trinidad and hear a song, or Jamaica and hear a hook and like, hey, I like that, I'm gonna go do a song around that. And then next thing you hear your song and it's done by this huge artist and you're like, oh my God, I should have. Have you put those structures in place to make sure?
That's actually a big issue that we have, and it's something that we made sure that in the beginning it's set up, because copyright is important. And one of the things that I learned from meeting different artists and conversing with them, they don't fully understand what it is to copyright, why I need to copyright my music and these different things. So
really? They don't?
A lot of them don't.
Surprising,
and even
yeah.
like, I would say maybe they might be, some of them might be registered with like Echo, for example.
Yeah.
But the question is, are they submitting their content? Are they, at the end of each performance, are they submitting their performance logs to ensure that what needs to happen for them to ensure that their longevity continues is in place?
Or at the very least, just mailing it to yourself. That's one of the simplest things you could do. You know?
So that's important, because one of the things that we do, for example, with our artists, we have all the music stored in different areas that ensure he has access to them or she has access to them, and they can say, well, okay, I recorded this, I wrote this, I was a part of the production, and this is my copyright.
Okay, so I'm assuming Footsie is one of the artists signed to you, right?
No, he's actually an artist that we started working with.
Oh, started working with. So let's get him a little bit. This is Keep Working. He brought this here for me a few weeks ago.
Even though I know it's certain, I remain strong. Only faith I'm working. Me know the game and the whole, and I keep working.
So that's Footsie. Who's the other artist?
We have Astro VL.
Okay.
He was known as a rapper originally, but I don't want to say we pushed him away from it, but we encouraged him to experiment with different sounds, because he is a versatile artist. So he's done Afrobeats, he's done dancehall, he's done a bit of singing. So that's one of the things that our producers do. We work with the artists to develop them as a.
So if you see a skill that they have, we
try to unleash it.
Yes,
so
good.
we got him to sing on a song, and one of the reviews that we got from almost everybody that listened to is like, he can sing. So it's allowing the artists to be creative with their own control, but at the same time trying to guide them to make sure that they do understand as well. Okay, there are different areas that you can tap into, and once you master them, you're unstoppable.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds
Awesome.
good. Okay. Red Rocket Group. How you might have some budding artists sitting in an office somewhere, sitting at home listening to you, and maybe being intrigued by, hey, this might be an opportunity for me to get put on. So, contact information for Red Rocket Group.
Right, so you can send us an email at info@redrocketrecords.com. You can contact myself at 767-3336. Or you could just shoot us a message on any of our social media profiles. There's Instagram, Facebook, Red Rocket Group. On Instagram, it's redrocket.group. But just hit us up on any of those and you'll be able to get in contact with one of us.
Okay. Sounds good. Shaquille Benjamin, CEO of Red Rocket Group.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be expecting big things.
Yeah. Also, too, right, I am encouraging persons out there to, when you go into business, try to get contracts. I realize you said that a lot of people don't, they're hesitant to sign contracts and everything like that. You want some sort of certainty. You want to ensure that you have clear guidelines. You have clear guidelines that really direct how things are to happen when it's supposed to happen. A lot of persons afterwards, and as a lawyer, I ask them, well, why didn't you do a contract? Well, we didn't want to at the time, and I said, this will make it so much easier.
Right.
So try to put things in writing. A lot of people don't like to do that, but it's pretty much beneficial in the long run because you are clear, you know what the obligations of the parties are.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. So we want to say thank you. Thank you for coming out. We look forward to seeing you continue to do great work. We look forward to looking at the next episodes and looking at you as you transform this area in St. Kitts and Nevis. The creative area is something. We have so many people who are creative and so many talent in St. Kitts and Nevis, and people like yourself and others in this industry help to push persons to unleash their talent. And so I want to say thank you for your contribution.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Shaquille Benjamin, Red Rocket Group.
Still I give job praise because me have life. Nobody gonna tell me say me can't. She will down me vibe, should that tell me say go hard. Enough of them a brief, you see I man fall, but me a hold on, me a hold on. Only Jah know how I do go through it. He alone sees and he steers the ship. Only Jah know how I do go through it. He alone sees and he steers the ship. Been through the hardest fights and the battles and no fret and get so many fights. That you know their life they not care. Even though I know it's hurting, I remain strong. Only faith I'm working. Me know the game and the whole and I keep working. All me do, me keep working. And I see bad man, I see hypocrites, I see evil. In a the valley full of shadow, two-faced people. I pray for my downfall, you're not gonna see that tall. Me still I make big move in those summer years gone. Even though man try so hard, man I pray to the Lord for hear man call, yo. Navigate myself right through the storm until the days get calm, yo. Only Jah know how I do go through it. He alone sees and he steers the ship. Been through the hardest fights and the battles and no fret and get so many fights. That you know their life they not care. Even though I know it's hurting, I remain strong. Only faith I'm working. Me know the game and the whole and I keep working. All me do, me keep working. So me keep working. I've been up all night, been on this long road, and still a bright smile. Been through these dark days, it's been a long fight. Still I give Jah praise because me have life. Nobody gonna tell me say me can't. She will down me vibe, should that tell me say go hard. Enough of them a brief, you see I man fall, but me a hold on, me a hold on. Only Jah know how I do go through it. He alone sees and he steers the ship. Been through the hardest fights and the battles and no fret and get so many fights. That you know their life they not care. Even though I know it's hurting, I remain strong. Only faith I'm working. Me know the game and the whole and I keep working.
70 minutes after 9 o'clock, that's Footsie, and
I see bad man, I see.
he's like we had said, he's actually associated with Red Rocket Group. Keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, this song came out just around the time when what's his name? Byron Messiah blew up. you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so good to know that
Yeah.
he's working with the Red Rocket Group, so maybe to help him take it to the next level. Yeah. So
Mhm.
and coming up at 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
we have the Basti High School.
Yeah.
Basti High School, the winner of the rabbit. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember we were here discussing
Yeah.
the competition on
Rabbit
Thursday,
cook-off.
Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
They won. They won. So
Mm.
I guess they could come in and tell us what they were, the special
they did.
ingredients, everything like that. Yes.
Curry the rabbit. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
So
find out.
I got this message say urgent medical attention for Avril Williams Buckley's site, and it's encouraging persons to assist her medical support, and it says the number is 663-7147, or you could contact her sisters. There's one here for Sandra Williams, and there's one for Arlene Williams, and the numbers are there: 664-7890, 665-0289. Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing that.
Is
Yeah.
it like a blood for blood?
No, it seems like says it's more financial. We are reaching out to
Oh.
you for support in raising funds to assist
Okay.
financial help for Avril Williams. I got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw something here from Pino. You spoke and listeners concerning road match registration. Said you would like to hear the road match content as well in advance on all registrations at all the hottest fets leading up to Sugar Mass 52 and across all online platforms. Check out these important dates below. Now, make that call to be certain that your favorite soca artist, Calypsonia band, is all in for the road. Calypsonians, I'm going in for a road match anyway. But yeah, so apparently the registration deadline for road match is Wednesday, October. Wow, next week. Wednesday, October 25. Forms can also be completed at the St. Kitts Nevis Carnival Committee Secretariat and St. Kitts and Culturama Secretariat. St. Kitts and that makes a mistake. That's a mistake. Culturama Secretariat in Nevis, and the release deadline is Friday, November 17. Road match song must be released on 2 local radio stations and emailed to info@skncarnival.com, including name of song no later than 11 p.m. Friday, November 17. So I guess I'll be hearing more about that on Wednesday. Hey, we got 2 calls coming, and let's see what's going on.
Yes, awesome.
Island T, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning.
Hello. What is going on with these phones? Well, okay, so at least we did hear. The difference is we did hear a dial that beep.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if someone calls, we'll get in. Before we weren't hearing it. I did reset the system. So I'm gonna see if. So caller, give us a try again.
Yeah, please.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Let's try this. Caller Island T, you're on. Hello. Wow.
No.
Not good. Hello. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so things are heating up for Carnival.
Yeah.
So once again, registration deadline is Wednesday, October 25. Release deadline is Friday, November 17. Let's try the phone again. Caller, go right ahead. Wow. I wonder what's going on here. Yeah, so what you're saying, because the phones clearly don't want to cooperate.
Yeah, as we looked at the competition, I think the competition, I know Virtuous High School was in attendance, participated, Basti High School. I don't know which other schools participated. I recognize that not all schools had participated in that competition. But I guess when the persons from Basti High School come, they'll be able to tell us more about that competition. And I see all they had the workshop for the judges, so the Calypso judges, Soca and the Pan judges. I see all of them, they now completed. And so from the judges pool, I guess we're going to have, judges who, they always say at the end of the competition, they usually say, they cheat. But these will be persons who participated within the workshop.
I am so listen. I am so glad I didn't judge I didn't judge much last year. I think I judged maybe one time.
Yeah.
But because I was doing the broadcast mostly, but I was kind of glad because sometimes you really.
Yeah,
you just don't want to have to deal with the confusion, And I'm even toying with the idea of just doing soca, honestly.
Yeah,
because eventually the soca is gonna become full of confusion, full of confusion too. But
the thing about it, especially with the calypso, having judged before, oftentimes you may identify as a judge, perhaps the top 4. But what I've found at times, you might have your top 4, but when the results come out, the top 4 are in different slots.
But I generally don't have a problem with that.
And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
If you have like a top 3 or top 4, I could tell you sometimes. I remember one time I judged finals, right? And when I went downstairs and I was standing by, I think the engineer, he said, "So, who do you think?" And I gave him the 3, but I said, in any order. He said, any order is fine.
Yes.
Because I knew my thing was those 3, and in that order, I don't think anybody was going to complain. And I think the people that came were the 3 and maybe the 4 that I expected. And I was like, and most people actually were like, okay.
Because
and I'm not saying it just because I happen to judge, but I've seen that a lot. Even last year, to me, it was, I said, okay.
Because a lot of time persons think, and, the complaint is that, judges go in there knowing who they want to win. And, well, for me, at least from my experience, I have never had a thought of, who someone say, you should make this person win. I've never had that conversation or anybody prompting. In fact, sometimes you only get the call maybe 2 nights before that you're going to judge, or maybe even the night or in the morning. Maybe the morning in case somebody drop out. But most likely or not, you don't get, at least in sometimes, not a very long period of time before. You may, because, if you do the elimination, you have a chance to the finals, but not if you do the semi. I don't think you will call again for the finals. No. So you, from matter of elimination, you could tell whether or not you would be called upon.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Caller?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Caller. Yeah. One of the things, though, I really should have raised it. We should have raised that with the clinician. Because one of the things I worry about is, you talked about eliminations. Sometimes people judge eliminations. You have eliminations, and a lot of judges want to run from the eliminations because 1, it's not glamorous, and 2, it's long.
It's very long, you know.
So, and I always feel like I always argue to committee members and other judges and calypsos. I feel like that is the most important part, because that is where a lot of nonsense goes on, and that is where you need good adjudication to make sure the people who deserve to go forward go forward.
Even and
so I even tell them, listen. I tell them, I tell them, if you all don't call me for anything else, I do not mind. I know it's long, it's a long slog, but I do not mind doing the eliminations, because that is where a lot of damage gets done. Right?
And even so too, the semifinals, if you consider it like that, because the judges for the semifinals determine who go forward in the finals. So semifinals too is very important. So every step I think has its merit. The elimination, as you say, I remember times where you get there like maybe 7 before 7, and then you don't leave until like 3 o'clock or something in the next day. So that's the marathon.
And I always feel like I will argue that I've seen a progression where the same ranking that happened at the semifinals happened at the finals. So usually you could tell, you could say, you can argue that, okay, the judges were on point, You know what I mean? Especially if the Calypsonians are consistent people. I mean, if they have good material, you know, you can have a good song and then you just have a terrible night.
The thing about it too is that in the elimination and the semis, I think it's just on one song.
But we've been having some argument. People saying that they think it should be 2 songs because the argument kind of made sense last year. I remember before saying, he said, but you know, a guy does one song and then the other song is trash and he gets to the finals and then you're like, what is this guy?
Yeah, a lot of times you have, but
I think
sometimes you have
best.
one good song
It makes it long,
and
but
the other one is not as strong.
Because the argument is it forces people to have 2 songs ready to go rather than some of them. They do have one good song and they don't expect to make it to the finals or even the semis, and like they don't the finals, and then they're scrabbling, and so they knock up a song and then the song is substandard, and then they still turn around and complain and say,
the argument could be made that somebody might have 2 good songs, average songs, but 2 good songs on average, and would have been a better finalist with those 2 songs than the person who has the one good song and perhaps a weak song at finals. So when you go into the finals, you got the 2 songs, right? So somebody might get eliminated in semi-final because their song is just average, but they have another, maybe say, average song, whereas the person who makes it to the final has a really good song but a very weak song. So if you do it,
So if you have 2 songs not that the songs are mediocre, but the 2 songs are solid.
Yeah. You could give a better performance in the semi-finals rather than having someone who goes with a really good song
and a really weak song.
So
I
mean, I could see the arguments on both sides. And the thing about it, even in the workshop that we had, which I thought was good, you may have people at different places, but it's always good if I could say, well, I think as a judge, that person did a really good performance. And you could say, yeah, that person did a good performance. What is scary is that if I say it's a good performance and another person says a weak performance, then you see that disparity. So so it's really I
thought it was interesting when we were using the cards to see what the spreads were like.
Yes.
And then to see most people having
the
basically on the same page. And like as she was saying, if you have the cards are adjacent, but not where you have weak and very good, which is like 3 cards apart.
Exactly. So big up to Miss Williams, who I think did a fantastic job in the workshops for the judges. I think she was on the program.
She was on the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, the Sugar Fix.
Sugar Fix.
Yeah. Amazing job that she did. A really amazing job.
And she had the pan thing Saturday and yesterday. I wanted to go, but I felt like I wanted to. I did the soca and calypso. I figured I'd leave the pan to maybe next year I'll go. I don't know. No.
Yes. I mean, it's 9:30 now. We're expecting the Bastille High School. So, do you think we could take a short break?
Yeah, let's take a break. Hear from Rams.
Yeah, come back.
I see evil in the valley full of shadow, 2-face people. I pray for my downfall. You're not gonna see that tall. Me still I make big moves.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Get the drive with Lucozade Energy. Buy buy Lucozade and enter for a chance to win the grand prize of a Toyota Hilux. Plus, win up to 500,000 instant prizes, including Fitbit watches, GoPros, earbuds, Amazon gift cards, and free Lucozade. To enter, buy one of the Lucozade Energy promo bottles and look under the cap for your code. Enter it online or send it via WhatsApp, see press, and social media for details. Buy, win, and get the drive with Lucozade Energy today. Lucozade, taste the energy.
St. Kitts and Nevis listens to
Win FM 98.9.
Win FM 98.9.
It's 9:34, and it's all about the Bastia High School.
Yes, it's the Bastia High School, and we're here with some students, and they had a competition. There was a competition on Saturday at the Echo Park, the high school cook-off competition, and we're here with the students and teacher. We're supposed to have the principal shortly, and I want to say first and foremost, congratulations to you. You guys did, from what I see, a remarkable job. Could you introduce yourselves to persons who are listening?
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Delaney Gumbs.
Good morning. My name is Serenity Williams.
Good morning. My name is Sahai Heath.
And you guys are the champions of the cook-off. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel good, but at first when I went, I was nervous.
Nervous. Okay then.
At least you didn't burn the rabbit. That's good.
I feel wonderful, and I feel very, very happy that we won instead of the other schools. But yes.
Mm-hmm.
Feel proud of everybody. Yeah.
Okay. So you're proud. Oh, let me ask you: is this the first time that you guys have competed in a competition like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So first time. And let me ask you, what was expected of you? What did you have to do? I know that there was the appetizer, the entree, and also the dessert. No dessert, just the appetizer and the entree?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what the rules were? You remember the rules?
I really remember the rules, but I don't know.
Okay, then maybe the teacher could help with that.
Good morning, everyone. Basically, they were asked to prepare an entree and an appetizer that included a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
That included a rabbit. So
yes.
That's all they needed to do.
Okay. So tell us, what was their dish? What was their special dish that they prepared for the appetizer?
Okay, so for the appetizer, they would have created rabbit chowder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and for the entree, it would have been Parmesan crusted rabbit leg, accompanied by beets infused Dutchess potato, and garlic buttered asparagus and carrots bundles. And the drink would have been butterfly pea.
Wow.
Man, that sounds like some Park Hyatt stuff.
And the dish would have been inspired, or the theme would have been around breast cancer.
Yes.
Because we celebrate breast cancer in October.
Yeah.
So that is why the dish was inspired. What it was inspired by. So the beets infused Dutchess potato, we're thinking pink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yes, and the rabbit would have been accompanied by a sorry glaze. And the butterfly pea, it's a blue plant, but when you add anything acidic, so we use lemonade to turn it purple or pink. So, we control the concentration to get the pink.
Wow, look at this, amazing, eh? Jamster didn't even saying that they had rabbit and rice. So they're talking about all these kind of things. You look at the menu and you're like, what's this?
Or basic barbecue rabbit or something.
Exactly. So tell us, how was the experience? Because your teacher just gave us a very nice definition of the food that you prepared. You understand? And so tell us, how was it preparing this meal? I mean, the rabbit chowder, was it difficult?
No, it was not really difficult, but you just to make sure it's thick enough and not that runny, and so you have to make sure it got a taste and so. Yeah.
So did you use a thickener? Did you use a thickener for the chowder?
The thickener?
Yeah.
The potato,
okay. You're on
shredded
point.
potatoes, and the heavy cream.
You're on point.
Yes. So I'm guessing that all of you take home economics, right? No? Did it in first farm. Okay, I guess the teacher could give me more information as it relates. So how were students selected to participate in this competition?
Yes, they all do home economics, and as you know, home economics comprises of the 3 subject areas: family and resource management, food, nutrition and health, textile, clothing and fashion. So Delanique and Serenity, they are part of the 3rd form FRM class, and Sahai Heath is a part of the food, nutrition and health class. So yes, they all do home economics.
Okay, but it's just not, is it still called home economics?
Home economics is the broad.
Yes.
The what covers them.
Okay then, awesome. So many changes in the curriculum and how these subjects are now. Yes, wonderful. So tell me, you guys at the preparing for the competition, how was preparation done? Is it that you guys did, samples before? Was it something strenuous? Was it something tedious, time consuming? How was preparations for the competition? How were preparations for the competition?
So, we had to practice before the actual competition, and day one we practiced, and she taught us how to use the knives, how to hold the knife and whatever. Then the second day, we actually cooked what we had to do. She did the rabbit chowder, and I did the Parmesan crusted rabbit, and she did the asparagus and the carrots and the Dutchess potatoes. And then we all practiced so that we were familiar with the meals that we had to do. And then competition now, it was that. And I felt confident because, of course, we are the birthplace of champions, and I knew that we was going to take home the championship. So it was an experience, and I'm very happy that we won.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I gotta say you're on point again with the BHS confidence. I like that.
Yes.
Birthplace of champions, no doubt.
I love the confidence that these schools are exhibiting, because I think, competition, healthy competition, it helps to bring out the best, and it helps to inspire the schools to go beyond the standard that, is expected. So go ahead. You wanted to give your contribution.
It was a good experience, and I enjoyed it. At first I was nervous, but then it became it was like nothing. Like I was just in the kitchen cooking. Yeah.
Those Dutchess potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yes. You want to say something?
Rabbit chowder, it wasn't that hard, but yeah. But I knew it was gonna win because, you know, Storm was always bringing the thunder and the lightning. So yes.
Wonderful.
and because BHS.
Yes, because BHS.
I got to rub it in on Azard now. Oh, one question though. Did they have like you distributed it to some of the people afterwards? Or
Yes, we had our
other than the judges, I mean, yeah.
We had our supporters from Bastard, so they all came and tasted. That's a chowder was the bang. So
Oh, awesome. You know what would be nice if you guys prepare that, and you know you could brought some or even sell some to persons interested, you know. Come and taste or sample the winning dish, you know, and don't forget island tea when are you doing that, eh?
But Damon, this is an idea for Damon that this is perhaps
He can't hear you.
I know,
Yeah.
but the teacher will tell him. Perhaps at the next sports day, perhaps at the next sports day, you guys can have some of the rabbit chowder on sale.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, no, seriously, like yeah. And you advertise it as, you know, when you come to sports, you get to try the rapid chowder that the home of champions won at that big food throwdown, right?
I definitely like the suggestion.
Yeah,
Jamster, that's
yeah.
very good. But I didn't really want to be a part of the interview per se. But
I know.
I just want to give high commendations to Miss Abbott, who would have stayed back with the students over the past 3 to 4 days to help them practice and prepare. Of course, the students themselves who are willing to learn. And then, of course, the parents who cooperate with us to allow them to stay back until 6. I think Friday was about 8 o'clock, preparing so they can be ready and confident on the day of competition.
Awesome. Sounds really good. You guys are really putting in the work. Could you tell me more about the criteria? How did that come about? What was expected of you? So we can have an understanding of, you know, how the competition was, what was to be expected. Because you must know your criteria. It's just like when you're doing schoolwork and you have studies to do, you know, you get familiar with the syllabus. Same to get familiar when you know the criteria.
Okay, so for the criteria, execution, you know, they should have meet the criteria for specific categories, so the entree and the appetizer. The rabbit was adequately incorporated into the dishes. So yes, rabbit chowder, you can't go wrong. And the Parmesan crusted rabbit for the entree as the protein. Also, sanitation and hygiene, you can't go wrong.
Yes.
And the dishes were served at the appropriate temperature. Presentation. Team members describe the component of the dish. The dish has appealing aroma, visually appealing. Do you all think it was visually appealing?
Yes.
Okay, and the taste as well. Textures that included being soft, chewy, crispy, tender. I think we did a very good job because when we were practicing, what I did, I spent each day, we took about 3 days to prepare. And each day we did something different. We would have interact with the rabbit, cook it, see how it come out, fry it, you know, and see what would have been best. Every day was a different texture in the rabbit, down until Friday when we said this rabbit has to be tenderized, okay?
Yes.
So we used the mallets and we did tenderize the rabbit.
Yes.
So on Saturday, sorry?
Those are the kind of tests I like.
So every day.
Just get to eat and eat and eat.
Yes. So we fry, we realized, okay, rabbit tough. We put it in the oven after frying to see, you know, but tenderizing was the best shot. We used the leg for the entree, so I deboned it and tenderized. You know, and we used the breast for the chowder. So you could imagine. You
guys look like you had a whole science as relates to this.
And the beets as well.
Yes.
Where we infused the mash with the beets. And the Friday, I mean, when we were making it, you saw that it was a good enough pink, and when we baked it, like the pink evaporated.
Oh, wow.
But on Saturday, they were able to add just enough beet. So when we baked it, you got that nice pink that we wanted. for the Duchess potatoes.
Oh, wow.
So I really, first of all, want to thank the students, because if they weren't willing, you don't know, because I could have wanted to do the championship, but they would have could have,
Yeah,
done. Yes.
not
So,
putting the work that was necessary for them to do so.
yes, they were passionate, and I appreciated that. At the end of the day, they are the winners. Yes.
How are you feel again? How are you feel about winning?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
I mean,
How about
all week, Serenity is saying she's practicing to take she basket. So, I know the confidence was there.
you? Yes. And it's good to be confident. It's good to be proud of your achievement. Don't let anyone take away that shine, okay? You guys put in the work. You guys deserve the win. And be grateful. Don't be, the win is yours. And so I want you to embrace it. Don't be afraid to embrace what you have worked for, okay?
One other thing, I don't know if you guys want to give a plug to the rabbit supplier, because, some people might be intrigued and might maybe want to get some rabbit meat. Maybe might not have been something they would have thought of.
We would have gotten the rabbit from Spax. That's Mr. Stevens, Lionel Stevens. He would have provided the rabbits.
Remember Lionel was here?
He was there. He was actually here talking about it.
Yeah, he was talking about the competition. So I looked keenly to see how it was going to go. And then when I saw, I was like, okay, then we need to get them here on Island T. We need to get the winners here. Yes. So I want to say, I want to say thank you for actually coming out this morning. I know it's a short time between Saturday and now. And, to bring a full team here on Island T to talk about, the accomplishment that you guys have done. I realize that cook-off competitions, we've had a couple over the past few months, September to now a lot. And it's good. I mean, at least persons are, trying out different things and actually putting to test different skills. So any one of you want to be chefs in the future, in anything, this is a goal for any one of you?
Well, it could be, but maybe really want to be a chef. I just love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it could be like a little part-time job for me.
Awesome. And, there's always catering jobs there. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to be a pastry chef, so this is like a little start for me, so I get in the field and understand how things goes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I just love cooking, and I like the feeling when I'm in the kitchen and I throwing down, I know what I'm doing, and but I want to have my own job, like an entrepreneur, but it could be a chef too, but I just love food. Food is my love language.
Yes,
food is amazing.
But you know how you guys say it, and the way in which you prepare, looking at the different textures, looking at the presentation, making sure that you incorporate the pink, making sure that the highlight is the rabbit, because you don't want to cook something and you can't taste no rabbit. You understand? You want to make sure you go taste the rabbit, because that's the point. So it shows you, it forces you to be unique, and I think that is important. It forces you to think outside of the box as well. And I think going forward, if you're going to go into jobs and even cook, it's going to be competitive out there, and you have to think outside of the box. And I think competitions like this assist you in doing just that, thinking outside of the box and being dedicated. So I want to say, thanks for stopping by on Island Tea. Thank you for sharing what you would have done. And I want to say, continue to do the good work. Continue to be examples. Continue to shine, okay?
And I have to give some kudos to the principal, who thought it was even though he didn't want to take part, thought it was important enough to accompany them just for moral support.
Yeah,
and that says a lot about students. I want you to know that says a lot about your school administrator, that he just showed up just to give moral support. So respect what you have.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And that goes to the staff as well.
Yeah, you could pick up your people them.
I want to say thank you to my mother, Andrea Brown. She helped me through this, and cooking started off with her because she just started cooking, and I just watch her and I learn for myself, and and I want to say thank you to Miss Abbott, of course, the best teacher. Thank you for taking time out of your week to help us become better and learn. This competition made me learn a lot. Like rabbit, I would never thought I would be eating rabbits out of all meat. But yeah, and I want to say thank you to my father, Erickson Williams, and thank you for your support.
Awesome.
I would like to big up my mommy, Kishma Gumbs. She helped me through it. And so. And yes, so when I was small, I just was watching her ask what she was doing. So like, I pick it up from her, but I learned for myself. So yeah, I'd like to bring up my father, Omari Brown, helped me through. He was supportive and all that. So yes, I have to pick up everybody.
Yes. What about you?
I want to pick up my mommy, Chanel Heiliger, and my auntie. Those are my support system. Yeah, they helped me a lot, and of course my teacher. Everybody who helped us, yes.
And big up Miss Abbott, you don't know.
She bad at the cooking, ain't it?
Yeah,
She bad. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to principal. Thank you to Miss Abbott. Thank you for... And as you know, Jamsa was saying, it's important to have your principal here who's showing you support. I mean, that goes a long way, and that shows the commitment that he has to the school and to you guys, you know, so... You know, you guys are in good hands.
Yeah.
Good principal, good teachers.
Yeah, big up Mr. Backus too.
Yeah, good cooking too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. We're gonna take a short break and then get back to just winding up the whole island tea.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. Here a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
And we got 4 minutes left on the
Yeah.
show, and we also have Money Matters coming up next with Professor Terrence James, Dr. Professor Terrence James.
You mean Dr. Terrence Martin?
Did I James?
Yeah.
Martin. Where
It's
did
okay.
James come from? Anyway,
You know, while
I know Terrence James. That's why.
Yeah, I think isn't that police? Maybe I know that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that name
yeah,
sounds familiar.
yeah. Mhm.
But what I'm going to say is that while we're taking our little photos and we were exchanging words, they got I think based on if I capture it right, they got 513 points out of 600. And if you do the maths, that's over 80% of the score
Mhm.
that they received. And they
Mhm.
said 4 schools participated: Keyon, SEMS, Virtuous High School, and Bastia High School.
What's Sims? That's
Sandy Point.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chazzy
Chazzy Mills.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, nice
Nobody-
little competition.
nobody from Nevis?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
I wanted to ask who the judges were, but I guess that's
Mhm.
not maybe
Yeah.
not as important, you know.
I mean, you could see, and I like the fact that they, they're learning and being creative, And the rabbit, yeah, think about it, like a rabbit. I wonder. I forgot to ask them. I was going to ask them, have they ever eaten rabbit before?
Yeah,
Yes.
that would have been interesting.
Yeah. I forgot.
And it's good that they're open-minded enough to, because most people. I think most people, if they, usually when you're not exposed to a particular thing, you might give you pause.
Yes.
When it comes time to have to try it.
You know that Parmesan rabbit leg.
Yeah, I just imagining that.
Parmesan, wow, yeah. Sounds so good. Oh my gosh. I wonder if there are any fancy menus for lunch out there, Parmesan, roasted,
And it's but I was joking about it earlier, but it's interesting that there are no boys on the
team.
On the team, because usually men are the ones who men are the ones who tend to dominate cooking. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah. Maybe the other teams had men on boys and boys on them. Yeah, probably. It'll be good. But
so we gotta hit up Lionel for some rabbit.
Yeah,
for real.
He probably had all the rabbit down there. He probably was a judge. So I wonder if he was a judge. He probably wasn't, but I know he probably wasn't a judge. But I'm sure he tasted some of that rabbit.
Yeah, I'm sure
he tasted some of that rabbit.
He definitely knows where to get rabbit from. So I'm gonna have to. This is a conversation we're gonna have to have.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Maybe I'll take a stab at the conch. Somebody saying conch chowder. Rabbit chowder.
We're so used to see
conch chowder, exactly.
Rabbit chowder,
Rabbit chowder.
Yeah, maybe in time to come. Imagine, as familiar as conch chowder is for us, maybe rabbit chowder might be as familiar in the future.
Well, when you think about it, if you could have, because rabbit is so, I was thinking when they said it, rabbit is so similar to chicken, right? How come we don't have chicken chowder? I'm sure somebody tried it at some point, but there's chicken sauce. It's a Bahamian Bahamian dish. I played for a Bahamian party one time.
Okay.
And best fried fish I've ever had. And they only use pepper and salt. I couldn't believe it. That's the best fried fish, hands down, I have ever had. And chicken sauce. I was like, chicken sauce, because sauce here is usually with
But what that shows, we have life is all about variety. It's all about different experiences, and where you go, they prepare things differently. And it's good to taste things. Go travel the world. And see how things are prepared and taste.
You ever had crab and dumpling when you're in Trinidad?
I think I had
it
before.
That?
I think I did.
You liked it? You don't say that their dumplings different to us. It's kind of big and
I generally like crab, but what stands out to me, Trinidad. I didn't study in Trinidad, but been to Trinidad. I like the bus up shot. The roti with the mango chutney and everything.
He used to bring it for me from Trinidad. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Trent, you're not going to Trinidad to bring back Eddie anytime soon. So,
I don't think he heard you.
He probably didn't. We probably could hear after.
You used to get good stuff. Yeah. Okay, we got
money matters. Yeah. And money really matters, So let me give him his time. See you guys tomorrow.
Time is money.
Yes, money is time.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. So we got Money Matters coming up next. It's 1:30 to 10 o'clock. I think we're supposed to have someone here from First Federal, the sponsors of Money Matters. So let's get a word in the meantime.